get into it because we're about to talk about that amazing scale on Shopify and that amazing Pinterest. We are live inside of YouTube and also on Clubhouse at the same time. Let me introduce myself. I'm Paula Marie, aka the EbonyBizDiva. I am the creator of the Pinterest Room, which is the largest Pinterest club on Clubhouse. And we have over 6,000 members. I think we just hit 6.5. Okay, so I'm excited about that. And I got my girl Jen Ritchie here. So I'm gonna tag some people. I've got to do some things behind the stage. If you're live listening in the Pinterest Lounge and you have questions about your Shopify and how to connect it with your Pinterest and what the benefits are, go ahead and raise your hand because we only have space on the stage for 3 people. So this is the time for you to get your questions answered while you've got not 1, but 2 experts on this stage. I'm going to pass the mic to Jen so she can introduce who she is and what her superpowers are in the world. Go ahead, Jen Rich. Yes, listen, this is my Shopify coach, y'all, okay? Because coaches need coaches. If you have a coach and they don't have coaches that keep them relevant and relative and to push them and to let them know what's changing inside of the systems that they're using and how to grow their business in new and innovative ways, I'm gonna need you to kick that coach all the way to the curb because growth needs to happen with the tribe. Jen is part of my tribe. She's my coach, okay? And let me tell you, we're not going to talk about her coaching program because that's a whole nother beast. We'll talk about that another day. But let me tell you, her coaching program is so freaking phenomenal that to be able to do something for a low price point of $27 with her and what she delivers in terms of value to help you understand Shopify is unheard of. So let me reset the room. I'm your girl, Paula Marie, aka the EbonyBizDiva. I am a business coach. I am your visibility coach. I'm here to help you to get really clear and strategic about the 3 components that move and drive Pinterest: your imaging, your video, and your SEO. Those are the 3 things that I help you work with, and not only inside of your Pinterest, but on all platforms that you live on, whether it's that good Instagram, whether it's that good TikTok, that YouTube, what have you. You need those 3 components in order to get found and to stop the scroll. Now, many of us that have service-based businesses and product-based businesses are on Shopify, and you may be a little confused. I was confused. Like, Shopify made my head hurt. Now, my personal journey with Shopify is that I added the app and deleted it 3 times. I added it. It got on my nerves. I said, I can't do this. I'm wasting too much time in my life. Somebody came around and said, you need to jump on that good Shopify. I couldn't do it. I said, okay, I tried it again. It still made my head hurt. I could not understand it. And I'm a smart girl. I kicked it to the curb again. And then I was on stage with Jen in another room talking about something totally different. And she just casually mentioned that she had a Shopify boot camp and it was $27. And I was like, well, I got $27. So let me figure this thing out with her. And so I joined the boot camp. I was blown out of my mind. And I learned so much in that boot camp that I said, I'm going to continue my journey with her, because to have someone with that much knowledge, with their hand on the pulse of how Shopify moves, you need to be able to do that in order to move your business quickly. It's not about learning it on your own and saving a dime. It literally is about how do we move our business quickly so that we can generate revenue quickly, so that we can create sales quickly. And you have to understand what you're doing in order to do that. So that's my horror story with Shopify. But now I'm rocking and rolling on Shopify. So Jen, tell the people about the boot camp, because it's changed up. I've taken it. This will be my 3rd time taking it. No, this will be my 4th time taking it. This will be my 4th time.
I think it's been 4.
Yeah. This will be my 4th time, and it's different every single time. So explain what the boot camp is. And the link, y'all, is above our heads if you want to check it out.
So the boot camp, I mean, let me start with why I started the boot camp in the first place.
Absolutely.
Pre-COVID. anything?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, let me just tell you that I know a lot of people that want to do Shopify. They want to add it. They've heard about like the brands that are using Shopify and that are doing amazing with it. However, they don't understand how to navigate through it because Shopify is an a la carte platform. So everything is available. It's like putting a kid in a candy store and letting them run loose with like an insurmountable budget. They can just pick whatever they want. And so for me, it was overwhelmed because my Capricornism, you know, I live in that Capricorn world. That Capricornism does not allow me to move fluidly and intentionally when there's too many things. I have to get rid of the clutter, but I couldn't figure out what the clutter was because it was so foreign to me. So the thing that the boot camp helped me to understand was what was the clutter, what was necessary, what did I not have to think about, and what did I have to focus on inside of my business, how to even start. Like how to get started. So $27 when you jump on to the boot camp so that I can get unlimited time with you. And then the VIP, let me just tell you, the reason I signed up wasn't because it was $27. I signed up because there was a VIP component that allowed me access to you to ask anything that I needed in relation to my business, my website, my understanding or lack thereof, questions that I had specifically. That was the reason why I signed up. It was the access to you, because for me, I just want the answer so I can move on. Like, that's who I am. I got money to make, so I ain't got time to be stuck on one little part of Shopify. I need to get that answer, keep it pushing, and so that I can get this money. And so that's where my mind shift has gone. It's not about let me figure out how to be on the struggle bus and figure it out by myself, because I ain't got to be all things to my business. I am the business, so I ain't got to be all things to the business. The business is me. I just need to have people around me. I need to have a team. I need to have a support system in my coaches that understand more than me, that can help me push the needle. So for me, it was really about it was the VIP in the boot camp for me. Can you explain a little bit what the VIP component looks like for the boot camp?
I sure can, and it's a little bit different than when you've done it. I'm changing it up a little bit this time as well. So it is still similar to how you did it, Paula. And so every day in the boot camp, I'm going live. This time it's 90-minute sessions. Originally they were an hour, but I was always running over time because I love to make sure that I give everything. I lay it all on the table for you guys. I don't hold anything back. And as soon as that live is finished,
oh, we lost you, Jen.
Stream. So $27.
Can you repeat that for a second? We just lost you for a second. I think there may have been a call beeping in.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. So for the $27, those that pay the $27, the way that you attend the trainings is you'll be in the private Facebook group, and I stream into the Facebook group, and
Oh, you're fading in. We missed that. We're going to get access to what? We're going to get access to what? What is it? What we going to get?
Is it, you can,
I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Now?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what it, I don't know. Oh, I'm getting the poor connection bar on my Clubhouse.
Yeah, but we heard we're going to get access to, and then you went out. You kept us in suspense. You went back out again. Every time she says it, she goes.
Videos. You're going to get the recordings.
Oh, I like that. So that means that we don't have to be there live, because there's also a lot of times I'm missing things because I'm moving. Maybe work gets in the way, other obligations. I'm also coaching my own community. So we're going to get access to the replays, which means you don't have to be there to get the info. Is that what you say?
No, you don't. But if you are, you guys can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
VIP though, it does benefit to be there because the after session is work.
She faded out again in the wind. She just faded.
Awkward sessions.
So
I might have to move my phone somewhere else because I think it's the connection.
Yeah, and I actually just switched my connection from internet to data. I just went to data because the internet will have you go in and out, but if you take the internet off and just use data, it's more seamless. So basically,
I know in the countryside we don't have data, so it won't work. But
yeah, that darn Hong Kong, I swear. So basically, what she's saying is what I said. The VIP is where the money resides. That's where you get the access. That's where you get your questions, especially with the day-to-day homework that we were given and the tasks that you gave us. We had to not only do the task, show up, deliver the task, but it created questions in how my business looked. And to have somebody from a different eye look at what your landing pages look like, what are your images looking like, what are your pages looking like, what kind of themes are you using, right? You need that information because this is all new language on Shopify, and it's a whole beast. It's like learning Mandarin, okay? And you're starting from scratch. At least it was for me. And then also I noticed that when other people ask questions, I didn't have those questions, but I needed those answers. Like I didn't have those questions, but I needed those answers because they were asking questions that I said, oh, I need to know that too. I just didn't think to ask. And so I literally had like notebooks full of pages full. This is actually from the last boot camp. I don't know if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, definitely make sure that you understand. I want you to see it. You're going to take pages of notes, and they're not going to be pages just from Jen, but the community that we have inside of the VIP section becomes like your tribe. They're asking questions. You're going to find people that are in similar niches than you. They're in similar businesses than you. And so because of that, you kind of build your own tribe of people that are similar to you. And that's when you start to move different, because now you're looking at different ways that you can look online, different ways your online Shopify can show up online. So we got a house full of people. I want to say, how many people are in the listening lounge of the Pinterest room that have taken the Scale on Shopify bootcamp? If you have, please raise your hand. I want you to come up on stage and just share a couple of words about what it is that changed your world by just doing a $27 bootcamp with Jen Ritchie. I don't want it to be the Paula show. And then I'm going to bring one person up that has a question.
While you do that, I want to make a comment because I think it's funny that you said, it's like learning Mandarin. And,
did you see what I did with that? Did you see what I did with that?
You can do that too. That's also easy. I've done it. I speak fluent Mandarin. So, we can learn hard things. You just break it down step by step. So
Absolutely. Yeah. So Jennifer had her hand raised. Jennifer, before you start with your question, I want you to first share who you are, Queen. I also want you to share what your superpower is and what problems you slay in these internet streets with your business, right? And you've got 15 seconds to do it. Go.
Good morning, and my company is Mother Tribe, and I design meaningful jewelry that celebrates like the joyous and raw parts of motherhood.
All righty. And what's your question?
Well, first off, I did the boot camp last year.
Oh, okay, yay!
Yeah, I'm in Jen's program for this whole year. So she's the one who helped me when I first opened my Shopify. It's been almost a year, and she's the reason I have a store. But anyway, I did have a question, if that's okay, for Pinterest. Or
you do, but before you start that, I want to go back to the experience with the Scale on Shopify Bootcamp. What was your brain? What were you thinking? How were you feeling before the boot camp? And compare that to how you were feeling during the boot camp.
Well, I started with no knowledge of like Shopify or anything. Like I had just signed up. So, and I'm not a techie person. Even though I know Shopify is.
Oh, go ahead. You're breaking in and out. I'm trying to capture it though.
Okay. I know Shopify is like, anyone is supposedly able to jump on it, and it is user friendly, but like you can't, I mean, Jen's done this for so many years, you can't learn that overnight. So I basically went in with a blank store, and then after the boot camp, I was like, trying to do it on my own, but like realized I could probably go 1,000 times faster if I worked with someone who's has the experience. So it was super helpful. And then besides like Shopify stuff, Jen is just obviously really good at business strategy and help with, like branding, the story, just kind of everything that actually, because if you just have like a nice store, that's great, but like doesn't mean you're going to drive sales or people are going to want your products. So I found like the clarity of finding like my brand voice and just all the things that are beyond like a pretty website that like no one will come to if you don't have all those other pieces.
Ooh, you said a whole thing in that last sentence. You can have the best website, but if you don't have the right pieces, the right component to really have like a robust site with the actual tools that you need. You don't need every app on the planet. Just because the latest and the greatest app popped up doesn't mean that you need to have it too. It may not be relevant and relative to your brand and your industry and what your products are. So I'm excited. I'm excited that you jumped on stage to share. So what's your question about Pinterest, girl? Go ahead.
To ask her question, but before she does that, she's being very modest. So I want to
tell her story, Jen. Dime her out.
Yeah, she's right. She had just signed up for Shopify when she was in my boot camp. And what was your launch date? First week of February, right, Jen?
Yeah.
Launch date? Yeah. First week of February, she launched. I had a year ago, I had a boot camp, and she was in that. And first week of February was her launch date. So she didn't even have her store launched when she took the boot camp. Mm-hmm. And by the end of February, she had already been asked to have her products in the Golden Globe swag bag. So Jen gets shy.
Yeah, don't be shy.
And now,
okay.
A year later, not even a year later, well, we're 3 weeks short of a year, right? She's been featured in Forbes and BuzzFeed and Huffington Post. And, the list goes on. We were actually talking on the coaching call the other day. She's like, there's just too many logos to put in the as seen in section. That's a good problem to have. So I just wanted to celebrate Jen. She's been super busy this year, and we don't see her pop in super often. So I just wanted to make sure that we celebrated you, Jen. You did such a wonderful job.
Yay. Congratulations.
Now you got to get your Pinterest rocking.
Yeah. What's your Pinterest question, girl? What's going on? Let's get this party popping.
Say, like, for anyone thinking of joining the boot camp, like, I had nothing. Like, I didn't even tell people I was starting my business. Like, and if I didn't have gone through that boot camp and stuff, then these opportunities of, like, Golden Globes and the Oscars and, like, making all these pieces and going to meet all these celebrities and then being in all these articles and, like, all this stuff, like, I wouldn't have had that if I couldn't drive them to a website. Like, I remember I had just launched and all these opportunities came and I was like, and everyone's like, your website's beautiful. I was like, oh, geez, thank God I, like, did that. Otherwise, I would have had these opportunities driving to some, like, really ugly website. But so you just never know. You want a nice website. But my Pinterest question is, you had mentioned in the beginning, obviously, imagery and SEO and, oh gosh, I forgot your, like, third thing, but
SEO, images, and video.
Okay, and video. So I guess my question is, my experience with Pinterest, like, it is one of my primary focuses that I'm going to test in first quarter. And so I'm currently using Tailwind and Tailwind Create. But I guess my question is, for a product-based business, like, my product is the solution to, like, a new mom gift, a baby shower gift, a mom celebrating, like, a special moment, getting her kids' initials, all of these things. And so, like, in all of these gift guides I've been featured in, you know, my product's positioned as a solution. So would you recommend driving my pins to, like, a blog post and not to product pages? Or what do you find being useful for what URL to put in? Does that make sense?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I feel like, and I got my brother Favor on. I'm so excited to have you on, boo. I'm gonna get to you in a second. I'm going to chime in and then I'm going to give him the mic and let him chime in. He's also a Pinterest strategist as well, and he has a club on Clubhouse. So make sure that you're following him as well, because you got to get the knowledge in as many places as whenever you can get it. When it comes to, and this is my philosophy, okay? So I want you to understand, you have to take the information that applies to you, that resonates with you, and that speaks to you. But when it comes to Pinterest, one of the mistakes I see is that everything is sale, 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 right? And we forget that we should be also connecting. We have to create a presence that is attractive enough that people like us. It stops the scroll, which is why your imaging is so important, right? And we focus on that inside of my coaching program. Also, you've got to cultivate some education. You got to inform them about something. You got to connect with their pain points. That's how they're going to connect with you, right? There's got to be some connectivity in the content that you're resonating. You can do that through blogging. Blogging is one of the best ways. If you're a blogger, I want to be a blogger in my heart, but my spirit says, girl, you're not a blogger. Like, I'm a vlogger. I can do video, but that writing it down on paper is not my thing. But people want more information. And then the third component that I work with is SEO. How do you get found? And also Google. We know that Pinterest is Google's bae. And if you didn't know, put some respect on Pinterest's name, because Google loves himself some Pinterest. You know, Pinterest is the Southern Belle of that of all search engines. And so Google likes to snatch up Pinterest's goodies. It likes to snatch up the content that we place on Pinterest, because search engines like search engines. They're in the same tribe. They rock with each other. So at the end of the day, blogging is going to be really good to help you to further and deepen the education and the connectivity. But the finesse of how you blog with your links and where you drive them to inside of your blog, that's a strategy that needs to be practiced over time. So definitely continue to blog, right? But also continue, what is the journey? What is the user journey that blog is meant to deliver? It's not simply just to blog and you got great information. We have to have clear call to actions as well. So we have to make sure that we're driving traffic where we want them to go. And it doesn't always have to be a sale. I would rather someone land on my email list any day of the week than to write 50 posts and blogs telling buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me. Because once I get them on my email list, now they're going to fall in love with me, because now they're going to understand like my purpose and my brand and my products and my services and how it connects with their pain points and how we're evolving and growing together. And they may not be ready to buy me at that moment, but eventually when they are ready to buy, who are they going to buy from first? The person they like, know, and trust that they've been rocking with because they're on my email list. So for me, I believe blogging is an underrated way of doing it, and also vlogging, because we're creating video content all the time. So that video content definitely has a place and can resonate and live on Pinterest. Pinterest is going to give video content 300 times more love and light than your static images, just because video's hot everywhere. That's why we got reels and stories and TikToks and yada, 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 yada. So that's my spiel on it. I'm going to pass the mic. You're in it for a treat, Jen, because you don't have me, but you got another Pinterest strategist that's going to help you rock this out too. Favor, I yield the mic, King. I yield the mic.
Thank you so much, Paula. It's so good to hear you, see you, connect with you once again. It's been a minute. Hope you're doing well.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Right? I missed your room on when you talked about how men are using Pinterest, and I was in a meeting, and I was like, I gotta definitely, when I see you again, I'll connect with you, because I just love what you're doing and informing people and just letting them know that it's not just a platform or social media, as people call it, which is supposed to be a search engine for growth and visibility. So I really appreciate you, Paula.
Absolutely. Do you have any more feedback for Jen, who was asking about blogging and using blogging on Pinterest to help her to create more visibility, which is the name of the game?
Yes. And I'll first of all say congratulations, Jennifer. That's a huge achievement. I'm so happy that you have been able to get across this in such a period of time. And I know that this is just the beginning. So I'm so excited for what's next for you. And I know you're going to do amazingly well when you also incorporate the practices that you can apply with SEO, Pinterest, especially for your business as well. So because you have external links, that's what I'll call them, because I'm going to go a little bit SEO, then I'll go to Pinterest, then I'll come back. With SEO, when people are searching for the things that you do, at some point, they're going to find your content. And when they find your content, they need to find that your content is repurposed, and it's also relative, or it's relevant. So when you start thinking about the keywords you have on your website, on your infographics, in your file name, on your blogs, even your products too. Your products are also platforms where you can be able to apply the H2 tags. You can apply the H3 tag, which are just headings and subheadings that you can apply when you're putting out your web pages and answering questions. Because on Google, when people ask for the best restaurant in town or the best places to visit in this city, they're going to get results. And those results most of the times are blogs. And most of the time, those blogs are either outdated or they're updated. So if you look at your audience and you see that you have a topic gap, and the last person that talked about your topic on Google on the first page was back in 2019, which happens, or even a YouTube video, which could be 2020, it happens. And you decide to now take that lead and use that as a fresh perspective and add to the Google algorithm by using Pinterest pins, video pins, things that can help them answer their questions. Literally answer those questions that they're asking Google, because when you become the answer to that question, then they'll want to know, what else do you have? What else can you tell me? And that's how they start to subscribe. They start to follow you on Pinterest. They start to connect with you. And before you know it, you're not spending money on ads anymore, because you're organically getting to the people that are reaching out to you. So there's a way you can connect those two dots technically, and also with SEO, that can really boost your traffic. And then at the end of your articles, give them a call to action. That's now an internal link where you now send them to your shop page. And in that shop page, or that product page, or that referral link, or that landing page is where you can be able to now make those conversions, which allows Google to know that they're not just spending time on one web page, they're spending time through your pages, which allows you to increase your watch time, which decreases your bounce rate, and which also increases your search visibility on Google. So I hope that helps, just like a wide scope.
Yes, Jennifer, how did that work for you? Did you get it? Oh, you're still on mute. Hit your mic, Jennifer. Okay. She may be away. She may be away. That was amazing. Just so you know, we are live on YouTube in these YouTube streets. I actually just pulled up your profile on Instagram, and it is highlighted inside of the YouTube live, because I need people to follow you and stay connected with you. So I pulled up your Instagram so they know who you are. So if you're watching this through YouTube, definitely make sure that you're following Flav, because at the end of the day, we are dropping knowledge from so many different levels and so many different perspectives, and we're a community. We are a family. Like, don't get me to singing, honey, because do y'all remember that song? I was in the 3rd grade. We sung this song. We are a family like a giant tree. I need some coffee. All right. I shared you, Flav, out into the world.
You need to sing in all the rooms. A little like halftime show right then.
Look, you never know what you're gonna get up in the Pinterest room, but I just wanted to make sure I let you know that I shared you out, and make sure that you're connecting with him. If you're inside of the listening lounge, I need you to hit that follow button for Flav. I need you to hit that follow button for Jen, Richie, and I also need you to hit that follow button to the person that's to the right, to the left, underneath you, above you, because if you're in this room together, that means that you are sharing a goal for your business. So the rooms that you each are in, you need to be like a tribe, moving through those rooms at the same time and supporting each other. That was amazing. Let me reset the room.
It's so nice to meet Flava. I don't dive into Pinterest so much because, well, I just don't.
We're going to change that. We're going to change that in 2022. We're going to change it. Okay.
I have people like Paula around. But it was super good, and super valuable. And I feel like there should be another boot camp coming out of just that, guys.
Yeah. Well, the thing of it is just about increasing your visibility, period. But increasing your visibility more than one time. Increasing your visibility in an evergreen platform and in an evergreen way. So the strategy matters. The content that you put out matters, but how you put that content out matters, and where you place it matters. And the fact that people only connect with Pinterest when they want something, when they need something, when they have questions about something, and you pull up multiple times, means that Pinterest is relevant and relative. Before, I want to reset the room, and then I want to highlight how Pinterest and Shopify connect really quickly. We're inside of the Pinterest room, which is the largest Pinterest club. But let me tell you, Flava is on my heels. Okay. He is building it out. So make sure that you follow him and join his club as well, because we are not in competition. We are in collaboration. Also, make sure that you click the link that if you're in the listening lounge that's above our heads, that is the direct link to the Scale on Shopify Bootcamp. It is only $27. It is the way that you get the answers that you need to make sure that you're moving in the right direction for your online store. This is how we generate the revenue that we desire and require, making sure that we have our hands connected with people who know what they're doing. I am sharing with you my Shopify coach, Jen Ritchie, because she is a beast. And she's all the way in Hong Kong. So she's on the other side of the world from me. And look at us. We on these streets. We sit on the stage together, collaborating. I also want to make sure that you understand that we are live streaming also on these YouTube streets as well. So make sure that you follow me if you want to be connected to this and other trainings that I do with other coaches. They are also inside of my YouTube community. Now listen, Pinterest is so badass that when you sign up for your Shopify, they're going to ask you to connect to a couple of places. They're going to ask you to connect to that good Facebook, okay? They're going to ask you to connect to that good old Instagram, and they're going to ask you to connect to that good Judy Pinterest, okay? Like off the break. That's how powerful Pinterest is, because platforms are understanding that with the new tools that Pinterest has put in place for us to use on the platform over the last year, they are here to play with online shops. They want their platforms to be the place not only where you get the education and the information to the pain points that you're having, but how can I get my access to the tools, right? How can I get that product? How can I get that service on the platform? So Pinterest has totally shifted the game. Yes, they still have pins where you can have external links that go off the platform, but they also have tools you can leverage that keeps them on the platform, which means that Pinterest is going to give your content more love and more light by showing it to more audiences that are like the ones that are clicking on your content. So to connect your Shopify and your Pinterest is super easy, right? I actually have a worksheet that kind of walks you through that thing. If you want that and you're interested in that, or if it's not really connecting with you, send me an instant messenger. And if you're watching this live on these YouTube streets, definitely go to my website that's listed underneath my name, www.EbonyBizDiva.com, and send me a message. That way I can send that directly to you. Making sure that you have the tools that you need so that you can get more eyes on your shop. That's what we're connecting Shopify and Pinterest for. Let me see. Any questions?
I want to just build on that as well, Paula, because we have a little bit of a joke amongst my husband and I. He says, I won't make any decisions, any purchasing decisions, any what am I going to bake at Christmas decisions. Currently, I'm planning a birthday party for my son in a few weeks, and so I'm looking at all the cakes. I don't make a decision without consulting Pinterest. So I have a board for every life decision that I basically need to make. And we're also currently renovating our house because we're getting ready to sell it. And so like my house one is a massive amount of house, and so much so that I become overwhelmed because I pin so many things that I like. I don't even go to the hairdressers without making a little bit of a board on Pinterest before I go do it, and so you want to be part of those decisions for those people. If you're, especially if you're home decor, jewelry, kids stuff, that's how people are making decisions these days. And I want to tell a little quick story too before you take one question. I don't know if I shared this with you before, but back in the day, I was a blogger. Well, no, I pretended to be one on TV. Really, I wasn't a great blogger, but no one was really blogging. It was because I was in website development. That's what people were starting to do. I could easily do it. I was writing about living overseas, and so Pinterest reached out to me and said, "Hey, you don't know who we are, but we have this new thing. And because we see that you have a blog," which there was not a lot of blogs back in the time. So it doesn't mean that my blog was good. It just means that I was one of the few. We want you to beta test this. And I was like, ooh, okay. And the way to get in to Pinterest was you had to prove that you were cool enough to use Pinterest. And I didn't feel like I was cool enough. And I was like, I don't know if they're going to accept me. And their survey that they were asking questions for were really kind of these creative questions. And the one that I struggled with the most, and you guys are going to think this is funny, is it asked, if you were a dinosaur, what kind of dinosaur would you be and why? And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to answer this question. This is going to be the question that they're like, nope, she's not cool enough to join this thing. And, but they let me in. So I don't remember what dinosaur it was, but I researched and I was like, I had to think. And I'm not joking. I think I spent a few days overthinking that question because I wanted to be part of it so bad. So I just thought it was really funny. And to see where it is now, is really, really super cool. Yeah.
I'm glad you shared that story because Pinterest is always pulling its creators and asking questions. They want to make sure that they are delivering what we need in order to do the thing they're asking us to do, which is bring people onto the platform and now keep them on the platform. And 2021 is a huge testimony to that, because Pinterest, and I'm sure Flav can tell you, child, some days we woke up and we was like, where's my username at on Pinterest? Because I can't find it. Like, they were changing things so rapidly on the platform because they were listening to what we were saying, and they're on Clubhouse. So they've been on stages with us. They've been inside the Pinterest room. They're in the cut, like listening and watching and taking notes, and they will reach back into their creators and they'll say, hey, can you beta test this for us? Can you do this survey for us? Can we schedule a meeting? I had someone jump on stage last week and said, hey, I'm getting these emails from someone that's supposed to be from Pinterest. Is it a scam or what is it? Because they're just like hella persistent. And I said, yeah, because they're hella invested. So take the call, sir, so you can have a contact person, a name and a contact on the platform that you're using. Yeah. Flav, did you want to chime in?
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, you're so right, because sometimes they're like, is this real? Like, is Pinterest? How? Like, how do they know me? You know, it's like you forget that you're on Pinterest. You know, and it's a platform that they can be able to help you and see your vision, even when you're building your own connections with people. Because Pinterest can be daunting, especially when you move from a personal account to a business account. Because the moment you look at your business hub, you look at where you're supposed to claim your accounts, like you just mentioned earlier, Paula, about how you're supposed to connect your Instagram, connect your Shopify. If you have a product e-commerce store, you connect your YouTube, which is going to be great for you, which is going to add SEO juice for you as well. If you want to connect your website, which is great, have your Pinterest tag, because when you think about advertising and creating content, I can spend, and just to give you a practical example, because I've been doing this case study for a while, just to show you how powerful Pinterest is and how all you need is Pinterest, really. Like, you don't need a Facebook ad, you don't need an Instagram ad. You can do that. But when you start thinking about the value of what you're doing and repurposing your best content on a search engine that is visual, it allows people to feel comfortable with you, because if 97% of searches on Pinterest are unbranded, then you could fall into that category that they're going to find you most relevant and most consistent. And how they'll find out you're consistent is when they click on your profile, they see your videos, they see your idea pins, they see your pins, your statics, your carousels. People are like, oh, can you do carousels on Pinterest? It's possible. It's just that people don't know how to activate that. And it's from the visual builder, right? So if you have a product store, you're like, oh, I can't use idea pins because it doesn't link to my store. And yet you can connect and just tag your product in your idea pin. And that allows people to shop on your idea pin, like they'll shop on your Instagram story and click on the link that you put in the sticker. So if you really think outside the box, it's really not far-fetched. It's just that people just don't want to see it, or they think it's too daunting to try.
Yeah. And also that they don't need to see it. That's why they got you and me, Flav. Like at the end of the day, you don't have to know all things to your business. That's why we have Jen here for your Shopify. Now, let me tell you, once you connect your Shopify and your Pinterest, Shopify is going to spit out the images that you place on your Shopify account directly onto Pinterest into pins. Period. You don't have to do a thing except connect the two. So that is another way that and this is free. They're doing it for free 99. So you want to not only learn Shopify, but you also want to leverage the connectivity to Pinterest. And so everyone who clicks the link that's above my head, if you're in the listening lounge, or in the description, if you're watching this video live, that signs up with the Scale on Shopify Bootcamp next week, you're also going to get access to my Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp as well. Now, let me tell you, I don't want you to feel like you got to learn all things, but you at least need to know a little bit about all things so you can outsource it. That's what I tell people. You don't want to outsource what you don't know, because you won't get what it is that you want to get. You won't know how to articulate the thing that you want. And you won't know if they're doing it right. And you won't know if they have your vision. So you want to know just enough. So no one's trying to get you to be like, you know, a web designer on Shopify, or to get you to like just forget about Instagram and jump all into Pinterest. We want you to know enough about it so that you can get this money and outsource, if that's your thing, effectively. That's the goal.
Yeah. That's such a good point. And I know at the beginning of this room, when I was talking about how and why I started the boot camp, and I mentioned Fiverr and Upwork and places like that, I do want to make sure people realize, like, I don't think that those websites are not good. In fact, I use them myself for certain things where you know, video editing and animation stuff that I might need, because I can't do that. I don't know how to do that, or I don't want to do that. But the key is that I understand the results that I want to get, and I understand the steps that should be taken to get there, and how they should be reviewed, like what they should be turning into me to get to the results that I want. And it makes it easier to make sure that the project doesn't, you know, go off track, that it gets delivered, you know, in a reasonable time, where I know how long it should take me, or I understand the process, so it should take about this time. I'm not going to ask for unrealistic timelines. That's a huge thing. I think a lot of people jump into Shopify and think everything should happen instantly. There's a lot of people, especially around Shopify. I mean, Shopify themselves market it, that they're like, sign up for Shopify on a Friday, build a store over the weekend, and start selling your t-shirts and make money by Monday. You know, that's not fair to us experts, because it's really unrealistic, right? There is no get rich quick scheme in any of this stuff. But when you understand all of those things that us as e-com entrepreneurs need to master, even if you don't want to do it, or don't have the talent for it, you at least know how to hire the right person for it and what you should be getting. And you don't get back this mess that you've just invested money and time in, that's not any good for you. And you still got to hire someone else. So,
yeah, at that part. Listen, we're about to close down this room, because what time is it there, Jen?
It is 12:30 in the morning, and I was up for an 8-hour workshop overnight my time, so I've slept about an hour in the last.
Let's let Jen go to sleep all the way over in Hong Kong. Listen, I am so, let me get our faces back on. Let me tell you, I love seeing your face. I haven't talked to you in so long. Happy New Year and all that good stuff to you. I'm excited about this new version of the Scale on Shopify Bootcamp. I'm excited about the price point being only $27, right? So there's no excuses, right? We just took the pain point of learning it is so expensive and I don't know what to do. Jen just took that off the table. That pain point is dead, okay? She has solved it for you. So definitely click the link that's either above our heads in the listening lounge or in the description if you're watching this live. And I'm going to be there on Monday, so I can't wait. I hope I can see.
And I promise, I'm going to make a little bit of a promise. If you come and you show up and you do the work, especially if you show up live, right? But I know that not everyone can.
Right.
If you show up and do the work, I'm going to make you back your $27. It's going to happen.
Oh yeah, she going to do that.
You can't not implement this stuff in your business all 5 days. And we have some bonus days on Saturday and Sunday. So you're not going to be finished with me on Friday.
Yeah.
We do have some bonus days. I'm not going to give those away. Those are a little bit of a surprise. Paula knows what they are. But,
I'm excited though. I'm excited.
You know, you're going to make that $27 if you show up and do the work. Now, the thing is, there are some people, and you guys can't be one of them. There are some people that kind of sign up and think that it's going to happen through their business by osmosis. Paula and I, we don't do that. That's not magic. Signing up is not going to get you it done in your business. You have to show up and do the work. I promise the work's not really, really hard. It might push you out of your comfort zone a little bit. Some of it does, depending on where your personalities lie. But you get it done, you're going to make the 27 plus some.
Yeah.
The whole thing is 5 days to 5 times your business. So if you've made 1 sale, we're going to 5 times that 1 sale. And if you've made 5 sales, we're going to 5 times that. And if you've made 100 sales, we're going to 5 times that. that's what I'm promising you.
Hey, Jennifer came on here, and Jennifer's been on red carpets and hobnobbing with the celebrities and stuff. Like, that was it for me. I was like, oh, I went into the group. I went into the academy. I was like, well, who is this Jennifer person? I need to follow her.
Yeah, she's been a silent lurker. She was in it, very active in everything before you joined, and then her business is just blowing not out of control, but like just crazy. So she's been super busy. She comes in and checks on us.
I'm excited. Well, we're going to close out. There's no one that has questions. I want to make sure that you get some sleep and honor your time. Flav, thank you so much. Flav, I always say that. It's because of your Instagram and how your Instagram is.
I know. Sometimes it can be like that. Flav is my pseudonym, Flav Beats, but Favor is the real.
Okay. So it doesn't matter. I can do either or because
either or.
I want to honor you. All right. Okay. So I want to thank you so much. Actually, the room I did yesterday was how are men using Pinterest? And I dropped a couple of stats. This is from a study that Pinterest did, and this is fresh January 2022 stats. So this isn't some like regurgitated stats from like the summer or even the winter, right, of 2021. And you would be surprised how men are using the stats. And one of the things that you said resonated with me because it's one of the reasons why men use Pinterest. Because Pinterest is a personalized platform for men. Remember when you go in and you search for your things, then all the things that you were searching for pop up, and it makes it a very personalized experience. So that's one of the things that resonates and attracts men to Pinterest, but it's also one of the things us as creators should be understanding. People want to be catered to have as much content as possible that caters to their pain points is going to be the thing that's going to push your visibility up and get them to like, know, and trust you as the expert in whatever the thing is that you slay in these internet streets. Jen, any last words?
No, I think we covered it all. I'm really excited to get to know you guys, and that's it, right? It's when you're in my boot camp, I get to know you and your business, and you get to know each other, and it becomes a really supportive community. I know people that have been in the boot camp have made lifelong friends, accountability partners in their business, people that they feel they can bounce things off. We know that your family only wants to hear so much about your business, but we want to hear everything about your business, and we're here to listen and support you and grow with you. And that's ultimately a bigger price than just all the skills that we're going to teach you too. So join us and join the family, and we'll see you on Monday.
All right. Well, that's it. And then that's all. Okay. So listen, we're going to close this out. I want to make sure that you click the link, join us on Monday. It will be the best $27 investment that you make in your business in terms of growing and scaling your Shopify. It will also save you money because if you're purchasing unnecessary apps to allow your Shopify to move the way you think it should move, I'm telling you, reinvest that into learning how to do it the right way. Jen, thank you so much for coming on and being a part of this experience. And Flav, thank you so much for coming on and supporting the Pinterest tribe. I appreciate you, King.
Anytime. Thank you for having us.
All righty. We are out. Talk to you later in these internet streets. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.